All around us, from the apps on our phones to the billboards on the street, there's this entire world of design. And here's the thing, almost none of it is random. It all follows this hidden language, a set of rules that speaks to our brains without us even realizing it. And today, we're going to learn how to speak it.
You know that feeling, right? When you see something and it's just so satisfying. It's easy on the eyes, you immediately get it, it just feels right. Well, that feeling is no accident. It's the result of very deliberate choices. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain and decode exactly what those choices are.
Because here's the secret. It really is a magic. It's a language built on core elements, like color and shape, and it's all held together by these principles of layout and composition. And trust me, once you learn the basics, you'll start seeing it absolutely everywhere.
Okay, so let's start with the big picture, the layout. You can think of this as the architectural blueprint for a design. It's the very first major decision that dictates where everything is going to go, and, more importantly, how your eye is going to travel across the page.
So one of the most classic blueprints out there is the rule of thirds. Just imagine drawing a tic-tac-toe board over any image or design. The idea is that if you place the most important stuff along those lines or right where they cross, you create this natural balance and focus. It's a really simple trick, but wow, it makes a design feel so much more dynamic and just pleasing.
Next up, we have the Z layout. This one is super clever because it piggybacks on the way many of us naturally read a page. Your eye automatically starts at the top left, zips across to the top right, cuts down diagonally to the bottom left, and then finishes at the bottom right. It's an incredibly effective way to guide someone through information exactly in the order you want them to see it.
And then you've got the circular layout. With this one, all the elements are arranged to basically pull your eye around in a circle. It creates this great sense of motion and energy, and it naturally funnels your attention right back to the center. It's perfect when you have a hero product you really want to say, hey, look right here.
Okay, so we've got our blueprint, but now, how do we arrange all the things inside that blueprint? Well, that's where the golden rules of composition come into play. These are the principles that create harmony, clarity, and that all-important impact.
First up is proximity. And this one is so simple, but it is so powerful. By putting related items close to each other, you create an instant visual connection. Just think about a business card, right? The name, the number, the email, they're all huddled together. That tells our brain, hey, these things belong together as one unit. It cuts down on clutter and helps us make sense of things way faster.
Next is white space, sometimes called negative space. And listen, what's not on the page is often just as important as what is. All that empty area you see, it isn't wasted space, not at all. It's breathing room. It gives your eyes a place to rest, it creates focus, and it can make a design feel really elegant and uncluttered. Then we have alignment. This is like the invisible grid holding a design together. When all your text and images are lined up along a common edge, it just creates this sharp, organized, intentional look. It's the visual difference between a messy pile of papers on a desk and a perfectly tidy stack.
Now, to really make things pop, designers use contrast. Think about a huge, bold, black headline on a white page, or a bright yellow Buy Now button on a dark website. Using big differences in size, color, or shape creates a visual hierarchy. It's basically the design telling your eyes exactly what to look at first.
And our last golden rule is repetition. You know when you're looking at a website and you see the same colors, the same fonts, the same button style on every page? That's repetition. It's what unifies the entire design, making it feel consistent and professional. It tells the viewer, yep, all these parts belong to the same story.
All right, we've gone over the big picture layouts and the rules for arranging stuff. Now let's zoom all the way in, down to the tiniest, most common element in almost any design, the text itself. This is typography, and honestly, getting it right is everything.
First, the real basics. You've got serif fonts. They're the ones with the little decorative feet at the ends of the letters. They tend to feel a bit more traditional, maybe even formal. And then you have sans serif, which literally means without serif, so no feet. They look clean, modern, and minimal. Just choosing between these two can completely change the vibe of your design. Now let's talk about the fine-tuning. First, there's leading. That's just a fancy word for the vertical space between lines of text. If it's too tight, the words feel all squished and it's hard to read. Too loose, and the lines feel disconnected. Getting that Goldilocks just right leading gives your text room to breathe. Next up is tracking. This controls the spacing across an entire word or sentence. You can tighten it up to make a word look really solid and dense, or you can open it up to make it feel more light and airy. It's like the master volume knob for the spacing of your text.
And finally, we have kerning. Oh man, this is where the real obsessive detail work comes in. Kerning is adjusting the space between specific pairs of letters, just to make sure they fit together perfectly. Good kerning is like giving each letter just the right amount of personal space. It's a subtle touch for sure, but it absolutely screams professionalism.
Okay, and now for a quick public service announcement. Some fonts, like the infamous Comic Sans or Papyrus, have been, let's just say, they've had their moment in the sun. They've been a bit overused. And while they're not bad fonts, using them in a professional project might not send the message you want. Just something to keep in mind.
So, we've gone from the macro, the big blueprint, all the way down to the micro details of letter spacing. Now let's put it all together. Because once you know these rules, I promise you'll start seeing them in action everywhere you look. You can't unsee it.
Just take a look at a well-designed restaurant menu. It's a perfect example. See how proximity groups a dish with its price so you know exactly what costs what? Alignment creates those clean, easy-to-scan columns, and all that white space stops it from feeling like a cluttered mess. All those rules we just talked about are working together to make a ton of information feel simple and easy to navigate.
So, there you have it. From the big picture layouts to the golden rules of composition, all the way down to the nitty-gritty of typography, you now have the fundamental vocabulary of this hidden language of design. You've basically learned how to see the world with the designer's eyes.
The next time you see a website, a movie poster, even the box of cereal in your kitchen, you'll know that feeling of it just works isn't magic. It's design. It's intentional. So my question to you is this. Now that you're in on the secrets, what's the first thing you're going to notice?